A very good afternoon to all. In fact, we welcome you to our city of Delhi, a beautiful city and capital of India, and many people are from India too. And we welcome the distinguished panelists, the eminent panelists who are sitting here to sit and discuss the codes for better tomorrow. And I welcome the leaders of the industry and the delegates over here. And especially coming to the subject AI agents for better tomorrow. I wish to see that, where we stand today and where we would end up tomorrow is a point of discussion over here. We stand today at a fundamental inflection point in the history of governance. As a policymaker, I would like to mention few points because all the technocrats are sitting on all the eminent scientists maybe from physics or the maths may be sitting on the other side to develop AI into the next level. For decades, the digital revolution in the government was defined by transition from paper to portals and from physics cues to digital clocks. But today, we are witnessing the birth of the new paradigm. We are moving beyond generative AI that simply answers. We are moving from them to agentic AI that acts now. What I've been discussing with Mr. Srinivas just now. And for 30 years, our relationship with technology was a series of commands. We used to give commands and used to get the answers. We typed, we clicked, we prompted. We were the masters for the search bar. We used to, we were the masters. Nobody can say that. But I stand here today. I can see and everybody can see the search bar is dying. In its place, something more profound. Just now, Mrs. Srini was just telling about agency. Is just evolving. In the first era of our national building was defined by land, the second by the industry, and third is being defined, more elusive, the intelligence of the system. And the nation that leads this century are those that learn to treat intelligence not as a product, but as a form of a public infrastructure. The idea is no philosophical for our state of Telangana. It is the story of our everyday governance because it's IT driven state as we are known for. And I often say that artificial intelligence has three lives in the government. The first life is in the research labs. The second we take into in the policy papers. But the third, ultimately both of this combined together, how we are trying to affect that life that truly matters for each and everybody. How do we see it? Is that when AI meets the real challenges of our lives, when artificial intelligence meets the dust where we face, AI meets the drought, when it meets the monsoons, when it meets the markets of the living society. And this is where its legitimacy is earned, when it really counters this dust, drought, monsoons, and the markets. In Telangana, we see AI agents not as a tool. Here, we would like to take them as a teammates. As the way the pilots rely on the co-pilots. Tomorrow, as our government here in Telangana also see that we rely on AI as co-governors. System that can predict a flood before the first cloud gathers over the Musi. Musi is our river in the midst of our city. Allocate resources before the crisis and deliver services before citizen ever need to ask. For example, if you take the agriculture, a small farmer I hail from a very remote area and that too a rural place. A farmer in my place or in some other place from the rural area, when the climate is not environmental concept for them, it is right now a daily negotiation with uncertainty. So when we built our AI advisors, we did something unconventional. Right now, we are planning to do it's on the pilot stage. We asked farmers to train the system with us. You know, the dialects, the soil wisdom, the lived patterns become the pattern of the model. This is where the governance comes into picture. To use the best of the technologies where you invent, produce, or do sitting in R&D, use best of your gray matter to come up with some products. Until unless we use and induce into our governance, there will be no end result. That's what we believe in. That is why our Telugu first AI can record land records, interpret satellite indicators, and compress the time between the climate event and an insurance settlement. So this saved lots of time, for our, government agencies as well as to the end user as a farmer. Our satellite driven heat analysis no longer stops at mapping temperatures. They now shape zoning, green belts, and urban cooling strategies for Hyderabad, which we are planning to take up to the core by 2035. And across 33 districts in our state, our solar power edge computer nodes ensure that the government service and the climate remains operational when the grid fails. And this is also one of the novel things what the Telangana is the first state where we have implemented. Yet I don't claim that these are examples for climax of our story. This is just a beginning. This is the first, the preface we can say that. Because the real breakthrough is not from each project, it is from the architecture that binds together. Our future projects, like our coming up, the state of art infrastructure in the upcoming AI city, absolutely dedicated AI city, and the Bharat Future City, which shall be the net zero city, are designed not as smart districts, either for technology or for other aspects, but as self-learning cities, territories that define sustainabilities, territories which can, provide themselves for the compute and make them policy advisors. Our country's first sovereign AI nerve center, ICOM. This is a first ever initiative by any state in India that we have come up with the first sovereign AI nerve center that is supposed to be the AI innovation hub that is named as ICOM. So that the aim and objective is, this intelligence be shall go deep beyond just for incubation, but also render into R&D and shall be the prime focus of creating AI ready talent for tomorrow's world. And I would like to mention here that Hyderabad and Telangana is the first state to come up with a platform that is Telangana Data Exchange Platform. The sovereign data open pipeline ensure that the intelligence is grounded in integrity. So the platform is on the open, and this is the first state we have put all the data on this platform. If we go through it by this open data pipeline, 1084 data sets, they have moved from administrative exhaust to ecological signal. We have created something rare in the global south. that state that generates its own intelligence at a scale. And we have seen the results too. And results shown the healthcare doesn't wait for symptoms, it now anticipates risk, because the data exchange we have done with our co-partners either in the healthcare or with the doctors or with the public health institutions, they are just not waiting for to deliver the medication but predicting the risk and try to put it into actions. And we are not waiting for the heat waves to come. We are trying to analyze for through the data and how we should place ourselves, and we are preparing corridors for the shade. And farmers also, we believe, using this AI technology, we don't want farmers to wait for the loss. You know, they have to receive assurance before despair. And we are also planning that infrastructure doesn't wait to break. You know, it has to whisper when it will fail. You know, when all this, the cutting edge technologies, especially the AI, deployed with purpose, and AI agents offer government something rare in public life: the ability to act before harm, to prepare before shock, to protect before loss. And how resilient our infrastructure emerges, how safe the climate resilient cities take shape, and how our public services become anticipatory, humane, and trusted. And this is the future what we are imagining, and we're trying to put all our actions into stream. And it is this operating system we dreamt and we started running. And I believe the next chapter of the statecraft will not be written in the boardrooms of traditional power centers, but in the living laboratories of the global south, in the cities of Hyderabad. And the world can already see a preview of what an intelligent century of governance look like. Let us leave Bharat Mandapam today, here where this great convention is taking place, with a shared conviction that the tomorrow we are building is not just the smarter, it is braver. And you know, the great caption goes, AI for everyone, AI for human welfare should be the theme. And also, we should, I as a policy maker, you as a technology expert sitting over there, should aim and anticipate for it. I thank the organizers for giving me, you know, a length of year to air my pitch on behalf of our state of Telangana. I would like to thank the Salesforce team, especially the team management who have invited me over here, for gracing this and having to see, you know, all the best brains sitting over here, and the gray matter who would be doing much more for our welfare of our human being. Thank you very much.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us. We very much appreciate it. And it's very exciting to hear what's happening in Hyderabad and Telangana. Let's kick our panel off. All right, so.